Hey, what's up everyone? So I'm back with another review here. This one's going to be focusing obviously on socks. Just wanted to give an update to my last video on socks, which has more views than I thought it would. For some reason, I always expect my videos to have like the same number of views as I do subscribers, which is like 400 and something, and a lot of them do, but others have like more views than I kind of expect. So I just wanted to give it an update. I had a chance to try out some recent socks here. These are the Nike Elite Versatilities, and these are the original Elites, so I'm just going to compare these two in this video. In terms of shoes, I just haven't had time to really play that much, so that's why I'm not making a lot of reviews and videos on recent releases. My most recent purchase was the Kobe 11 EMs, the engineered mesh, and I got those online for some kind of sale for like 60 bucks, which honestly I think that's barely worth the cost. 160 retail for those is just way too much. I think that's way overpriced, but 50-60 bucks for those sounds about right in my experience. I am interested in shoes like the KD9 and the Adidas Crazy Explosive Low and the brand Black Future Legends, and these shoes have been out for a while now, so you can kind of see I'm a little bit behind here just because I haven't had time, but I already have like shoes to play in, so I'm not going to go out and buy more when I don't have time to play. That's pretty much the reason. So this will be an update to the last video I did on like performance socks. One thing I want to say is, you know, I want to recommend something that's like the best out there. If we want to use this word best, I think we have to be careful in terms of viewers, and as viewers, how we interpret that word. I think a lot of reviewers, not just like basketball shoes and socks, but products in general, maybe they'll throw this word around a little bit too casually, and they'll say, "Think this is the best," and you know, without really providing reasons for it or support. And I think we just have to be careful in interpreting that. A lot of times when people use that word best, what they really mean is it's their favorite or it's their preference, in my opinion. You know, people will say, "Oh, this is the best pizza," or "They make the best, you know, burritos," or whatever. And what they really mean is it's their favorite. So we need to be careful in how we take reviews like that. In my opinion, when we use the word best, you have to be able to measure something. It has to be quantifiable. So a good example would be like Michael Jordan. People will say he's the best basketball player. He has 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs. You know, these are things that we can measure. There's numbers, there's stats. You know, one player might average more rebounds, points, blocks, whatever. So you can say, oh, this person is better. So when it comes to shoes, for instance, there are things you can measure. You know, you can measure weight and say, oh, this shoe is lighter than another, or this shoe is heavier. Durability, you can say this shoe lasts for more games, indoors or outdoors, and so on. So there's lots of things we can look at to measure quantifiable factors for shoes. In terms of socks, in my opinion, I think I said this in the last video as well, there are a couple of factors. Obviously value. We talk about how much something costs, the retail price, and compare that to the performance. So performance for a sock to me should be, does it stay where it's supposed to? Does it feel kind of cushy? Is it helping to wick the moisture away? Things like that. And then obviously durability. You want to make sure the sock maintains most of its material and its elastic and tightness. And its form, basically. So you don't want that thing moving around on you, and you don't want it losing a lot of its fabric there. So that's kind of my thoughts on how to, you know, gauge the quality of a sock overall. One thing I want to say about retail price and cost, I think there are some reviewers who don't consider cost when they make the reviews and when they review a product. I have a hard time understanding that. I'm not trying to be combative or anything like that, but I would like somebody to explain that reasoning, because I have a hard time grasping that concept. For instance, like if you buy a shoe that costs 150 bucks compared to at retail, compared to a shoe that retails for like 75 or 60 bucks, I think there would be different expectations. You know, I think that one, if you're paying that much more money, it should perform better than another. But that's just my opinion. That's my perspective. So in my opinion, retail price and cost, I don't see how it doesn't factor into a review. I can't, you know, I have to consider that as one of the factors. So anyway, going into the socks, again, these are the Nike Elite Versatilities, and these are the original Elites. The packaging for the original Elites looks like this, right? Nike Elite cushioned, and famous, you know, that stripe and the little spots there in the back. So in terms of design and appearance, they're pretty similar. Obviously, they have different lengths. That's one thing to consider. These are the original Elites on the left, as I said, and they're both as far as I know, they're both the Crews. And you can see there's clearly a length difference if that matters to some of you guys. These are the quarters, and I'll line them up just to show you guys. These are the original Elite quarters, and you can see, you know, the versatilities are kind of in between in terms of the length. So they have the famous, you know, line, the stripe, and the dots in the back, just like the originals. This is the LeBron James colorway. I got them on sale at Marshall's for like $6, so this is the only one they had, so that's why I got them. Not that I'm a LeBron fan or a LeBron hater or anything like that, but they have this weird notch at the top that these don't have. I'm not sure what the reasoning is for this. I didn't do much research in terms of, you know, the actual sock, but there is, you know, a clear notch right there. Still anatomical. You have the left-right version for each foot there. The vertical elastic in the ankle, the lower calf area, it's a little bit finer on here, like the lines are narrower. And then you have this ribbing at the ankle area and the forefoot, right? As well as kind of on top of the foot towards your ankle. It's hard to describe that area, but this is where typically your laces would be. When you knot your laces, that's where the knot would be. So I kind of like that, providing an extra cushioning in that area for people who like to lace their shoes kind of tight. So you do have that additional ribbing in the forefoot, which is kind of dense and thick, nice and cushy. And you have it in the ankle area, which I like as well. It kind of keeps that area compressed and nice and warm and tight. The originals have a elastic around the midfoot. It's kind of hard to see. Well, I guess you can see the lines there. That kind of, it does a lot to keep the sock in place, right? That elastic that runs from here to around the midfoot there, it does a lot to keep that sock where it's supposed to and keep it from moving, which is, you know, what we want. And the versatilities have something similar. It's a little bit different in terms of design, but this little band right here helps to keep that sock where it should be. And then you have this like thinner area here between the ribbing here, the nice thick heel cushion area, and then that ribbing in the top of the foot there. So that kind of covers the differences in terms of design and appearance. They look pretty similar, but there are some noticeable differences there. And in terms of performance, well, let's talk about cost, I should say. Most of them retail, both the original Elites and the Versatilities, for around 12, 14, 15, 16, 18 bucks, something like that, depending on the colorway you get, which edition you get. So retail price is pretty comparable for both socks. In terms of performance, I'd be hard pressed to really point out any performance differences. I'm satisfied with both of them. I would be happy with either one, and I don't think I can really tell you if I'm wearing one or the other. I don't think I could tell you which one is which. Just that's my personal experience. Maybe other people can tell you the difference. I do feel like the Elite Versatilities are a little bit tighter overall, especially in the forefoot area. But it's nothing that really affects the performance in a good or a bad way. They both stay where they're supposed to stay, and they don't really move around on you. They both retain their material, and they're both pretty durable. Nike has a tendency to throw the word elite around a little bit too easily. You know, they're elite shoes, which a lot of times, you know, based on reviews I've seen, the Elites cost more than the originals, but the performance is a lot of times is actually worse. Like, some people don't like the Elites like they do the originals, so that doesn't make any sense. But when it comes to the socks, I think it's really appropriate. Honestly, I think the word elite is very appropriate. They are truly a step above the competition in terms of, again, what you get for what you pay and how long they last. They're very durable socks, and they're easy to maintain and wash. Basically, you can hand wash or machine wash, and one thing you want to avoid is drying, machine drying. So you don't want, you know, prolonged exposure to heat when it comes to elastic. So try to avoid drying them in the machine. And that goes for, you know, a lot of things that use elastic, like you know, mesh basketball shorts and tops and stuff like that. So just hang dry them, turn them, you know, inside out, and hang them up to dry. So yeah, in terms of performance, again, I really can't see. From my experience, I can't really say that there's, you know, a lot of differences. I would be happy with either one when it comes to the performance of the socks. So we covered the value, you know, the performance and the durability. Again, they both retain their material and form and tightness, very, very equal to each other. So I really couldn't say that one is better than the other. I would say get what you can if you're, you know, you go to these discount stores and they're available for like $6, which just makes the value even better. A lot of people paying, you know, 12, 15 bucks for socks, probably expect to get like 4 or 5 pairs. But these are like specialty performance, you know, athletic socks. So and they do last for a long time. But if you see them at discount stores, you know, Marshalls and Ross, that's where I got these for $6, which is just a really, really good deal. That just makes the value even that much better. So hope that covers it. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, you know, anything like that, of course, just leave it below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll be doing a second video. Wow, 10 minutes already. Oh my God. I'll be doing a second video covering the Stance on-court NBA socks, what the pros are wearing, and I'll compare those to the elites here as well. So thank you guys for watching. And again, any, you know, comments or anything like that, just leave them below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, and until next time, guys, you know, see you later. Bye.